We're going to go into the second half of this workout, which starts with speed mechanics. Now we're going to go into running mechanics. Your arms give you 30 to 40% of your running economy. That's a huge amount, and that's why it's so critical to have correct arm mechanics. Correct arm action is all at the shoulder, so the elbow wants to stay at 90 degrees. It's very important that it stays locked at that position. All the arm action is at the shoulder, so you want the shoulder girdle to move on the rib cage and spine. The rib cage and spine should remain stationary. For these exercises, you want to start slow and accelerate to an all-out 100% effort over a 10-second period. Correct range of motion for arm action is back pocket to shoulder and not letting the hands cross midline. If you had a zipper in your jacket, you would not want to cross it with your hands. Now we're going to go into speed mechanics, starting with the lean fall. Here you want to have your one knee up high, toe up in the air and forward with correct arm position. If the right knee is up, the left hand is up front. In a lean fall, you just want to lean forward as far as you can till you feel like you're going to fall on your face. And then you want to drive that foot down into the ground and then maintain that lean for at least 10 yards. We're going to go into push-up starts. Here you want to go into push-up position. Bring one foot up next to the knee of the other foot. And then accelerate, keeping that lean for at least 10 yards over a 15-yard course. Lateral walks is the most basic part of lateral speed. Here you want to drop the hips about 3 inches. Lift the front foot and drop hard off the back foot, creating a long back leg. Some common mistakes with lateral walks is with the front leg. A lot of people like to lift it up and really reach far and pull themselves forward. You just want to lift that front leg and drive off the back. The crossover step is the first part of learning change of direction technique. Here you want to have a drive off your back foot and then bring that knee up into the chest with the toe pointing down the runway. When you're learning it, just do 3 and then on the 4th go. And again, correct arm mechanics and lean is critical. Once you have the feeling for it, you can just do the crossover step on its own. Here it's very important that you drive the knee high and keep the foot high down to the runway so that the first 3 steps are as fast as possible. Once you feel comfortable doing lateral walks in one direction, you can add a change of direction component. When you're doing this, don't have the foot that you just drive off of come right underneath your hips. You want to keep it outside your hips a little bit so you can go right into a drive phase. We're going to start with the box agility drill. Here you have a 5x5 yard box defined by 4 cones. You're going to run out to the second cone, lateral shuffle to the third, back pedal to the fourth, and then shuffle back to your starting or first cone. Here you want to work on keeping your hips low in the transition, coming out, planting the foot, and driving off of it in each change of direction. Right now we're going to add a soccer ball to the box agility. Here you want to work on using the ball and maintaining control of it as you go around the box while always maintaining that forward facing position. So you don't want to turn around the cones, you just want to run out, move laterally to the third cone, backwards to the first nice and quickly with the ball, and then lateral shuffle back to where you started again. Alright, now we're going to go into the slalom agility exercise. Here you want to set up 6 cones, 3 on each side, have the cones about 3 yards apart, and you want the cones spread out so that you're moving more laterally than you are forward down the course. You want to maintain your hips nice and low so that you can really get a nice drive, plant and drive, or triple extension on each change of direction. Now you're going to do the same agility drill but add a soccer ball. Here you'll really want to work on maintaining ball control while keeping your hips low and being able to drive quickly off that plant foot.
Another wave of tension has more than filled me up. On my talk of taking action, these words were never true. Now I find myself in question. They point the finger at me again. Guilty by association.
Now we're going to go into the conditioning part of the workout. You're going to do the following in a circuit pattern. You're going to do 3 sets of 30 to 40 seconds of each exercise. We're going to start with push-ups here. For this workout phase, I want you to go wide push-ups, narrow push-ups, and alternating push-ups. You'll see that last one in a second. I want you to also maintain a straight line from your heels to your shoulders. If your arms become exhausted, you may go to your knees to make it a little bit easier to finish out this part of the workout. Here you can see the alternated push-ups. You're going to have one hand a little in front of your shoulder and one hand a little in the back of your shoulder, so they're a little offset while maintaining a nice straight position. Halfway through the live time for this exercise, you're just going to switch those hands so you get nice balanced training. The sit-ups are pretty simple. You really want to make sure your shoulders go all the way back down to the ground and you come up all the way. You have a couple different levels of difficulty. First is your hands out in front of you and crossed, and then the second is just touching your ears just slightly. You don't want to be wrenching on your neck at all when you're doing a sit-up. And then lastly, the most difficult one is with your arms up and over your head in a static position so you're not throwing them forward. Again, this is just simple physics. The farther away you put weight from the fulcrum, the more difficult it's going to be. Right now we're going to go into lunges. Here you're going to step out in front of you, nice exaggerated step. Then you're actually going to sit back into the lunge, maintain the weight on the heel and outside that front foot. You're going to come up a little bit and then power back.
Do I hide my pride from these bad dreams and give in to sad thoughts that are maddening? Do I sit here and try to stand it?
With kicking legless, here you're just going to have your feet up 6 inches in front of you and cross one over the other, or just bring them up and down nice and quickly. Next is your plank holds. Have your elbows and toes on the ground, then pick your stomach up off the ground so there's a straight line from your heels to your shoulders. Last conditioning exercise are squats or squat jumps. You can start with squats if you'd like, but I'd like you to do squat jumps if possible. When you're doing squats, you want to keep the weight on the heel and outside your foot with the knees driving outward. Metabolics this week is a 15-minute jog with 5 sets of 40-second sprints. The cool down is just an easy jog for 5 to 10 minutes, followed by these following static stretches. Hold each one of these stretches for at least 30 seconds on each side. It should take you about 7 to 8 minutes to get through the full stretch.